Hi everybody, and welcome to this month's first episode of Reel Geeks as we discuss Birds of Prey and the splendid... Help!
The Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
And the movie title I'm never going to get right. Now, essentially with this film, we rejoin the only good element of Suicide Squad. And this is coming from somebody who actually didn't have much of an issue with Jared Leto's Joker, beyond severe overusage. But Harley and the Joker have just broken up, and she, as it turns out, has decided to make the mistake of publicly announcing it by blowing up a chemical plant, like you do.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's where they started, kind of.
Oh, yeah, nothing more romantic than large explosions. But before we go in further into the plot of this movie, just one thing I have to get off my chest, because this just irritates me every time this happens. The damn neckbeards, who have been calling for this film to be a failure literally a week before it opened.
Oh, you mean the
one.
troglodytes who
Yeah.
are all men are powerful and women don't belong in superhero movies.
Right.
And
Well, no, you can be in the movie, but you have to wear what we tell you
Yeah.
to wear.
Yeah.
And lots of ass shots.
Yeah.
Titties, ass.
Stilettos.
Ass and titties.
because, like, first and foremost, y'all are sexualizing a literal psychopath. Think about that for a second. They want the Suicide Squad version,
Yeah.
not what we got here, which... I'm sorry, in that movie she was dressing for the Joker. This time she's dressing for herself. It's called character evolution. Deal with it.
And I mean, people have different outfits. They have different clothes, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harley's
And
playing to her
sec-
strengths.
Second, and I mean, I admit maybe this is just a personal thing, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead with a crossbow is fucking gorgeous, and this is a hill I am prepared to die on.
I love everything
sorry.
about her characterization,
Oh, yeah.
too.
Love this chick. She's got rage.
I don't have rage issues!
So over the course of Harley really drunkenly dealing with her breakup from Joker, and finally being able to publicly admit it, she's in a bar owned by Roman...
Sionis.
Thank you. I nearly went Cialis. I honestly did.
Roman Sionis.
It's so close.
Good old big dick Roman.
And amongst other things, Harley ends up drunkenly breaking both legs of Roman's driver.
Oh my god, that was definitely a moment of like, oh, okay, this is the kind of movie we're going to be. We're going to be here. Just look at this. Look, we freeze framed it for you.
And they do kind of do the thing that irritated me with Suicide Squad, of those, like the cards that essentially reintroduced every character.
Yeah.
Because with Harley and Deadshot in that movie, they insisted on introducing them twice. But here here's this person, here's why they hate Harley.
Yeah, here's her relationship very specifically. Not a bunch of stupid fucking stats that don't mean anything.
Yeah, it was literally name grievance.
Yeah, what I did.
And-
sorry.
If you're looking for references and Easter eggs,
Yeah.
this is the spot.
Oh, this is so wonderfully laden. It's a beautifully shot film. Like,
I really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what I would think. I wasn't too happy with Harley after Suicide Squad.
yeah.
There was a lot of issues with Suicide Squad, and I grew up with the animation version, so you know that was, you know, Puddin' and all that, and she didn't capture what I knew, what was familiar to me. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
I really did.
I'm really happy that Margot Robbie clearly gets this character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like this was a passion project for her, and I was literally about 5-10 minutes into this movie, like, happy birthday to me. For me, like, a lot of these the more ridiculous movies that, as we all know, I thoroughly enjoy, there's usually that one moment where I'm just like, you have me. You have me, and I don't care what you do from this point. The police evidence room.
Yes. Yes.
Where, at one point, Harley is trying to chase down Cassandra Cain, who is essentially the MacGuffin of the movie, because the whole thing is basically she has pickpocketed this diamond that contains codes etched onto it for the Bert and Ellie fortune.
Yeah.
Essentially, plot point for every 90s movie ever. And Harley has decided to go into bounty hunting because we got to have that little bit of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Which, again...
So much Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
So much Deadpool without being like, oh, now she's doing this thing.
Yeah.
She talks to the audience. She narrates it. She looks directly down the barrel of the camera. There's a scene where in both of these films where they do an incredible amount of cocaine and then kill people.
That's exactly where I was about to go.
I mean,
she's facing down 6 bikers and takes cover behind this giant pallet of cocaine that is somehow not in lockup.
It's Gotham. This counts as lockup.
Yeah.
This counts as lockup.
It's the GCPD, so it's easy to go, yeah, right.
Yeah, compared to the security at Arkham, this is locked down. This shit is tight.
Ewan McGregor.
So good.
Who, now, as much as I said earlier, I had no problem with Jared Leto's Joker aside from severe overuse.
Fair.
Ewan McGregor would have been a better Joker.
He would have been a better Joker.
He literally just spent
true.
3/4 of the movie demonstrating he would have been a better Joker.
He was a little nuts.
Oh, yeah.
He would have been a better Joker if you, to kind of lean into a more Jack Nicholson Joker.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I said this on Twitter last night because it just immediately popped into my mind. I really liked him as Black Mask because I don't like the fucking character Black Mask. He's usually a very boring character. He and Zsasz are some of the most realistic Batman villains, and so there's nothing really there. He's an organized crime guy who, in a city where, the vogue thing to do if you're a criminal is to dress up, was like, I'll get, hand me that mask. I'm Black Mask, aha. But he's still he's Roman fucking Sionis.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all he is. And Zsasz is the most realistic villain, because he's just a serial killer who is just like, yeah, I kill people because I don't see them as actual people.
Yeah, and
they made them interesting by essentially having them fuck. It's fantastic.
And, well, none of that, but with Zsasz, I think one thing that should be pointed out is he's probably going to be triggering for some people.
Oh, absolutely.
There are scenes with him and Harley that are, imply rape to such a degree that even I was going, there are people I should probably warn.
And it's such a good performance at being horrible.
Yeah.
As far as the birds themselves, Black Canary was another well done, who had actually one of my favorite moments during that amusement park scene where literally the fight briefly just stops so that she can ask Harley for a hair tie.
It wasn't even that she asked. I mean, she's standing back up, hair's all in her face, and she's doing this one, and Harley literally goes, elastic?
Yeah.
And I mean, recently a friend was actually posting on Facebook how there are so many times that you see superheroes, heroines, whatever villains, and they have this beautiful, long, down to your ass hair. How does it not get in the way? And she was complaining about it, and I was like, well, no, not all of them are like that, and this was the perfect moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because, elastic, hair go back, girl down to business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that nice, simple little. Okay, one, yes, feminist, practically and beautifully executed feminist.
Yeah. It goes right by, but it makes it feel real.
Oh, yeah. And just to get back to Mary Elizabeth Winstead for a second, because I'm sorry, for me, she just stole the movie from everybody.
Well, she tends to do that. I mean, no one watches Scott Pilgrim for Scott Pilgrim.
No, this is also true.
Sorry, Michael Cera.
I mean,
we're not watching for you.
Yeah,
No one
there's
gives a fuck.
there's a reason he's not the one who still has a career.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm not really wrong.
No, you're not.
But I loved when they're going down that chute, and one of the thugs like jumps in behind them.
Yeah.
And as he's going down, you see Helena just clinging to the top of the tube. And when she comes out, riding him the rest of the way
Yeah,
down.
stabbing him brutally. There's a lot of brutal stabbing in this that I really like. At one point, Harley becomes incapacitated. Actually, you should probably... Spoilers! Spoilers! So Zaz has her. She's incapacitated. He's about to do some horrible things to her. And suddenly he gets a full arrow through the neck, care of the Huntress. And he falls on right next to Harley. And she has one hand that is working. And she's got a little stiletto in it.
No, it's the dart from the neck,
Oh, yeah, the
isn't
dart
it?
from their neck.
Yeah.
And she just starts, like, this one little frantic hand stabbing the shit out of him. The one thing, actually, I'll complain about is that they essentially just go, oh, yeah, Zaz is dead. Like, there's a live dialogue that they look at, yeah, he's dead. It's like, oh, come on, I just want him to, like, rise up and be like, and then maybe explode out the window or something. Speaking of explosions, what a wonderful ending.
Yeah, I think my only complaint there is just the fact that I enjoyed Ewan McGregor's Black Mask so much.
And now he is gone
Yep.
all over the place.
Definitively gone.
I mean, it's DC. I'm sure he can come back from that somehow. Maybe the water was contaminated with some of that Ace Chemical stuff. No.
I mean,
I'm trying here.
they'll find his head and put it on a gorilla or something. But like, what a terrific sequence! What a terrific way of getting rid of a villain. As you say, this is a Gotham absent Batman, so it's like Black Mask is gone, and it had fuck all to do with him.
Yep.
And like, it's not just, oh, we took care of him. No, he exploded.
Oh yeah.
He's never going to be a problem again. Batman, once again, in this universe, you have been shown to be pointless entirely. And I'm sorry, when there are, like, when there's shootouts and car chases in Gotham at night, and he doesn't show up, and one of the people involved is Black Mask, who people actively call Black Mask, and the other is Harley Quinn, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What will you show up for? Is this just normal?
In this timeline, I mean, where is Batman in this? I mean, obviously he's not in the movie, but is there a reason given for it?
No.
He's not mentioned.
He's mentioned. At the end he's mentioned, but that's about it.
Harley drops his name now and again, but like, is there any backstory anywhere on the internet as to where he might be?
Also,
not that I know of. No.
Okay.
I really like this Gotham overall, though. Despite not having a Batman, it's the first time that Gotham seemed like an actual place, and not gritty Gritsville or Nightmare City. Why the hell does anyone live here?
Yep.
It's like, okay, it's New York. Finally, it actually looks more like Metropolis than I would have expected, and that's probably a better way of doing it instead of Perpetual Night.
I do have a question. Are either of you more familiar with Renee's background?
Like, I'm familiar with the Crisis to Crisis Renee.
Because the ADA mentioned, why don't you just go have another drink? So.
Oh yeah, she's a drunk.
Yeah. Okay, because they don't quite mention that. Like, you see her drinking from a flask later on, but.
There was they kind of, it's kind of in the Crisis to Crisis era, at least, which led up to her becoming the Question. After she is outed at work, she gets fired, and she becomes a very heavy alcoholic for a couple of years, until she becomes the Question, which I was kind of hoping to happen, like, reference at some point.
Would have been nice, yeah.
Well, assuming that they take the movie forward, this may have been the lead up to it.
Well, absolutely.
Potentially.
You can totally go there. Yeah.
And with Renee herself, I did like that she is gay, and they don't beat you over the head with that.
No.
Like,
Yeah, I
it's,
think the only reference was the shirt.
Well,
I mean,
that and her ex, the DA, the assistant DA is her.
yeah,
ex.
it's like, like even in interviews where she just subtly slid it in,
Yeah.
and it's not that. Hey, look at us! We have a gay character. Look at us! Come see our movie with the gay character.
Yeah, it has. It's
Power Rangers reboot. I'm looking at you.
Fucking Star Wars. I'm looking at you.
Also valid.
Yeah, but there are 3 gay characters and 1 bisexual character in this, and no one goes like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
It exists, and if you notice it or are paying attention, yeah, of course you pick. Of course, fucking Roman Sionis and Mr. Zaz are gay. Holy shit! But yeah, picking up on Renee is it just takes a tiny bit more. It was really well done.
Oh yeah, and especially where she does in a lot of ways sound like every '80s movie cop ever. But just the simple fact that the movie itself goes, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Just that forgives so much.
And I love that it's almost an excuse to write like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, just be like, no, fuck it. And that's the thing. Renee, I think Renee was created in the early 90s, and she was very much written like that for a very long time. Especially since she was usually partnered with Harvey Bullock, so you'd have this like...
Yeah, I was checking out Wiki this morning just to try to catch up on various backgrounds and origins, because I wanted to confirm the Huntress.
Yeah.
Again, not what I'm familiar with because of DC's Arrow. So I was like reading all the different origins and storylines, and especially for Helena, there's like, I don't know, fucking 5 different, 10 different origins for her,
Give or
because
take.
they're also going on different multiverses though.
Yeah, and then there's the pre-crisis one, where she's outright Batman's daughter from a different universe.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, that got flushed.
But speaking of like that and the character's origin and so forth, I have to say, shout out to Journey Smollett, who flat out referenced the amount that Black Canary has been retconned in an interview. And was specifically like, yeah, she's been retconned a bunch, so we pick from this and this and this. It's like, you are this movie's Henry Cavill. You know what you're talking about. I respect this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching her since she was about yay high, because there was a TV series called On Our Own, and it was a spin-off from Full House. So Journey was Michelle Tanner's, or the character that Journey played was Michelle Tanner's friend.
Huh.
Oh yeah, so
Cool.
it was her whole family. All of her siblings were part of this show, and it was a bunch of kids who, like, the oldest one was just recently 18, and he was taking care of all the siblings, which is why the title was On Our Own. So I've been watching Journey since she was about yay high to a grasshopper.
I didn't know anything spun out from that show.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there going, like, why does she look so familiar? It wasn't until the credits went and I saw the name and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that explains that. And I just have to say, hair goals. Oh my god, I want her
I could,
hair.
yeah. I can see where you're coming from.
Yep. I love her hair.
Very cool.
Um,
Cassandra Cain was all right.
yeah.
She was all right.
I think she was the only one of the leads that I really had a problem with, and it's nothing to do with the actress. It's more simply that she's in any character.
Yeah, she's underwritten. She's a kid. She's the kid.
Yeah, like, it wasn't even specifically she was underwritten. It's just, there's no reason for her to be specifically Cassandra Cain.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah,
that
like this
too.
character could have been anyone.
Yeah.
The kid just robbed him. You betrayed him. You killed his BFF.
What?
You are so cool. You never. And you're dumb enough to be building a case against him. So, unless we all want to die very unpleasant death, we're gonna have to work together.
Sure.
Final thoughts and ratings. Damn, this was fun.
Yeah. This is a really fun film.
There's really no other way to put it. For my part, I have to say 4.5 out of 5. Like, there was, like I said, I wasn't thrilled with Cassandra, but most of my issues were just those little things that I had wish had been done better.
Yeah.
There was a moment or two where in a fight scene where I could clearly see that Harley was CG, but it was not as egregious as some of the past DC films. So it's like, y'all finally started improving, so thank you.
There are no rubber lips in this.
And I like, first and foremost, more Huntress, please.
More Huntress, more Renee.
Yeah.
I really like the Black Canary. I like how, for a character that is so relatively underdone, there are currently 2 Black Canaries in pop culture actively. You can tune into Legends of Tomorrow every week and see one Black Canary, White Canary, whatever the fuck they're calling Sarah Lance now. Then you can
with
watch
Sarah,
this.
I think they've dropped the alias entirely.
Yeah.
She's just Sarah.
She's just Sarah. Again, also a 4.5. I really like this.
Yeah.
I like the animated bit at the beginning. I liked the progression. I liked the action was fantastic. The way they did references was fantastic. The soundtrack was fantastic. The soundtrack was clearly what they tried to do with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But were fucking useless. And this pulled it off beautifully.
And
yeah.
Again, going to the feminist elements of the movie, because if I remember right, these were all female singers.
Yeah.
Or all female bands.
Yeah.
And again, it's a little more subtle.
Yeah, it's just tiny little things. I like that all of the shots. Someone said on Twitter so well today. They shot Harley doing things, not being sexy. She was doing things. There's no moment like in Suicide Squad when she's getting dressed in front of like 50 guys outside and they do the pan up like ooh leg butt tits.
Yeah.
There is none of that. But she's dressed just as provocatively, but it's treated it's not overly sexualized.
No, it's like I think I mentioned before, but as somebody said on Twitter, the Suicide Squad, she's dressing for the Joker.
Yes.
Here, she's dressing for Harley.
Yeah.
I was actually going to go for 4.5 too. It's just, the movie is light.
Yeah.
It's intelligent, but it's not smart. It's not too booky. Jam-packed action. I love the choreography. Again, soundtrack was on point. There was very little that I had issue with. And a big part of that was just stuff that wasn't, it didn't, the issues that I had with it didn't affect the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, it's a great date night movie.
Oh yeah.
Go watch it by yourself. Go
Yeah.
watch it with a bunch of friends. There are some trigger issues. Like I actually texted Heather when I left just to let you know if you.
I think I messaged her probably 10 minutes after you did.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's a scene that's not Heather friendly for those that have issue with vomiting.
Yeah.
That would be what I'm referencing.
There's also face cutting. Like faces get peeled off, but it's done in this way that it's not overt.
No, it's not. No.
Next week we'll be back to take a look at Sonic the Hedgehog because I hate life.
And apparently he hates us too.
Yeah.
Because he's making us go see it too.
I'm just doing it for James Marsden.
But with that, I know right now I don't have anything to plug.
I've got my normal shit. Check out My Gender is Cinema on YouTube and Here We Go Productions on Patreon.
And now that Paula's finally back.
Yay! I was sick. I'm sorry. I didn't want to contaminate anybody. I'm going to be at the 2020 Psychic and Holistic Fair at Cole Harbor Place. I'm not sure. It's the Saturday and Sunday, but I keep messing up the dates. I think it's the 23rd and 24th. And it runs 10 to 5 both days. So I'll be there. I've got all kinds of new product and some old favorites. And this is an event that's been going on for years. It's usually a really well-attended, popular one. So,
but until our suffering for our art next week, that's a wrap.
forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons, share this video with your friends, and drop us a line anytime you like.